Welcome back to another edition of the B4evaKool podcast. My name is Rex45. Tonight we got Eli Block in the building. It's been a little bit over probably at least I think maybe 8 weeks, 9 weeks that we haven't, got a chance to come on the show, but we chopped it up off air and stuff like that. Man, how you doing, man? Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me again. We're doing good. We're doing good. Enjoying a little bit of a break that we got from MotoAmerica, and having some fun, trying to recoup and get ready to get back at it soon. How you been?
Likewise. I think the last time we spoke, you had van issues, and I think I had truck issues as well. So I got my truck back, so that's a good thing. So let's kind of catch it from there, man. I mean, how was that process getting the vehicle back? Sound like you had a loaner vehicle to get to some of the races, and so what's been the last couple of rounds been like in MotoAmerica for you?
Yeah, I still haven't got the van back yet, which is I can actually go pick it up on Thursday when I fly home. So it works out that I can get it done. But yeah, no, it's been ups and downs for sure. But it's part of racing. That's why we love it, and it keeps us drawn into it. So yeah, Road America was actually I was really happy with Road America.
Okay.
Didn't end the way I wanted it to, but throughout the weekend it was good progress, and obviously not going to any of these tracks this year has been definitely a big learning experience, but I've been taking action with them and kind of just going out there and going at it first session. And, what was that? I think Road America. Yeah, even Road America, I don't remember. But like for the first 3 rounds, all the tracks that I haven't either been to or I've been to like one time.
Right.
First practice, I'm out there and I'm in top 5 consistently. So that's definitely a confidence booster. And it definitely rained for race 1 at Road America.
Right.
So that's the hard part when you're coming into a new track and you're still trying to learn it in dry, and it starts raining early. So you kind of lose that extra dry time, because the dry time, I'd rather have more time on the track in the dry than race in the rain.
Okay.
Than vice versa.
Right.
Just so you learn the speed, so you know what's possible, and then you can go from there. Excuse me. So, so race 1 was rain. I got a really good jump. My starts have been really, really, really good lately.
Looks like it, from
got a
what I
really
can
good
tell.
jump. Yeah. Jump was awesome. Got into like top 3. I passed in the second. And I made a mistake with the draft, because that track is huge with draft on the 400s. So I drafted out, I think, to the right, going down the first big straightaway. And just everyone drafted left, and I had nowhere to go, and I got stuck out there, hung out dry, and I dropped from second all the way to 12th.
Oh, wow.
And that was painful, because I was like, okay, at this point, like in the dry, it's fine. We can all chop back and forth and get back up there. But in the rain, there's a whole bunch of varying pace.
Right.
So,
and was that like, going from, second to 12? I mean, are you cussing your helmet at that point, or you just kind of know it's coming, so you just part of the plan and then just trying to work your way back up?
A lot of words come out of my mouth when I'm in that. It's it's not fun.
Yeah.
It's the worst feeling, because like usually you can hop back in a draft and draft your way back up there and stay within a 5 position gap. For me, I just got left out to dry, and I was at that point when I started moving myself back into the pack, I couldn't see shit, because the rain and the mist from bikes 5 wide is just like literally a cloud heading straight into your face, and you're like, I can't see. You're hoping to see like the rain lights in front of you, and that's all you can see. But after that, the top 3, by the time I got through that group, the top 3 already broke away. And I know I'm good in the rain, but these kids are getting faster and faster and faster in the rain.
Right.
Even from September of last year, all these kids, I was going 2 seconds a lap faster than they were running the same pace as me now. So, I get past, it takes about a lap and a half to get past the whole entire pack and break away from them.
Right.
And the guys up front already have 5 seconds on me. So I was like, okay, if I can do something in the rain here and pull out some magic like I do in the rain, I can maybe catch them.
Right.
Not so lucky because that track with the draft, those three, though I was running the same exact lap times as those three, but they also had a 6 to 7 mile per hour advantage on me on every single straightaway.
Oh, right. Just
so in theory, it was going faster, but they had more top speed going down straightaways because of the draft.
Right.
So, going into the last lap, I knew I had, I was hoping, obviously don't hope for, as a rider, you hope for a mistake and you don't want anyone to get hurt, but it's like, you hope something happens. So you just get a little bit of a toe, like someone goes a little wide and messes everyone up and you start just getting a little bit of a toe.
Right.
And coming into the last lap, I was like, man, like I know the 3 riders in front of me. One's my teammate, one's Avery Dreyer, the defending champion, and one's Isaac Woodworth. And Isaac is very, very, very fast, but very, very, very inconsistent.
Right.
And I love the kid, and he's stupid fast, but he has his inconsistencies at times. And I was like, there's no way the one time I need something, Isaac's going to put together a clean race. There is no way. And I'm coming down in the Canada corner, and I see 2 bodies running. I'm like, all right, here we go.
Yeah.
So Isaac and Avery were running back to their bikes. I was like, well, I'll take it. Not how I want it, but I'll take it. And then come across the line in second. We got BartCon Racing 1-2 in that race.
Right.
And that was definitely a highlight for sure of the year. It's definitely having me and Matthew be on the podium together. Especially it was my second race without my dad being there. So it was cool to, just talk to him after the race and, not, have him be there. It's just not relying on him. I had other people that were helping me. So
right.
That was cool. And then going into the next day, I went out in morning warm up, and we only get a few minutes of morning warm up, so it's not like a lot of time. So you got to go out there swinging quick.
Right.
So I went out there and went as fast as I went faster than I have all year or all weekend that week.
Right.
So I went out there and I was like consistently first, second, like we're kind of like chopping it up back and forth, not even knowing we were chopping it up for first and second because he was probably half a straightaway in front of me. I was a half a straightaway back.
Right.
And we were separated by half of a thousandth or something like that. Half of the 100th or 1,000th, I don't remember.
Yeah.
But we were super close. So that definitely helped coming into the race. And again, going into race 2, got a stupid start again. Went from, I think, 10th probably. I don't even know. Qualifying wasn't great. Yeah, 10th. Went from 10th to, I believe, 4th off the start. Made it up. Got into 3rd, into turn 5. Got into 4th, 2nd, into turn 6.
Right. And
going down into the chute of 8, into 8 out of 7, I passed in the 1st. And I just kept on. I put my head down. I was like, all right, I got to get at least out front of all the mess going on behind me, and then we'll let it fizzle out during the race.
Right.
I led the first lap. I got drafted once, drafted by him to the line, led that first lap, and the race was looking really smooth. Then the pack kept on getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I think it was the biggest front pack they've ever had at MotoAmerica for Junior Cup.
Oh, wow.
I think there was close to 12 kids. And then that happens, not every single kid has the same, I'm not saying in a bad way, but not the same ability, not the same racecraft, not the same rider ability.
Right.
They're all fast, and the draft is helping them because obviously they have to stay together. They have to go fast to their corners to stay with us.
Right.
But some of the kids that never are really up in the front and dicing it up have that shot now. So now you have people throwing in these horrible dive bombs, hoping and praying it's going to stick. And you're halfway in the apex, and you just get a front fairing to your shoulder. Like, what the hell did that? Where did they come from? Who is that? Like, you're just trying. You're laughing it off in your helmet, but you're like mad at the same time. But no, it created some really good racing. My teammate Matthew did a really good job. Definitely his size and stature and him just being an overall really good rider helped him there. And yeah, he led, and it was funny. No one could draft him. No one could draft him. Like he's on a bone stock bike just like I am. He's just his drives were really good, and he's good to get under the bubble. So it was funny. Out of everyone who passed him during that race, the only two people that could pass him were the two biggest kids in the class.
Oh, no kidding.
It was, yeah, me and Levy Batty were both the two that passed him. So we go down to the race, towards the end of the race, about, I don't know, probably like 2, 3 to go. I was like, okay, I'm settled in probably around like 7th. I need to start making my way up. Started making my way up. And then on the last lap, Isaac threw an absolute wild dive bomb going into turn 2 under me. I was like, that was not smart because that just ruined both of our drives. And now we have to hope and pray. We can't catch that draft. We get a small little bit of the draft going down the straightaway, but we're going to have to like deep brake and hope and pray that they bottle up a little bit so we can get in there.
Right.
And because of that, us deep braking, that puts us on edge. So if anything happens, we can't react to it.
Right.
And that's exactly what happened. Ella Dreyer went down right in front of us, and I was, say, from probably a foot behind her just because we were on the brakes so hard and catching them. And because I was on the brakes so hard, I had nowhere to go. I could do nothing. So her bike slid across, took my front wheel. I went flying over it, and I hit the ground. I picked up my bike and ran so fast that Ella didn't even know I was on the ground.
Oh,
I talked to Ella after the race. She's like, how'd you do? I was like, your bike took me out. She's like, what? I was like, yeah, your bike took me out in 5. She's like, I didn't even see you. I was like, yeah, I just got on the bike. The worst part was I could have scored points. I was in, I think, 11th place coming out of that.
Right.
After picking the bike, my shift linkage broke and I could not shift out of second gear. So from turn 5 to the front straightaway at MotoAmerica, I was stuck in second gear wide open on my Ninja 400 off the rev limiter.
Wow.
Just going down the straightaway, hand on the tank, just wide open. And I was so close. I made it to Canada corner. 2 corners to go before the group of 5, 6 people passed me behind us. I was like, damn, I need those points. But that happens as part of the racing. When you're that close and that many people, you never know what's going to happen. And we made it to the last lap before someone made a mistake. So that ended up pretty well. So had some progress, had some downs, and, we had to move on.
Right. And was that like, podium one day and being taken, I guess when someone takes you out, obviously it's very frustrating, but at least it's not your mistake, but nonetheless, you still want to kick rocks, right?
For sure. No, I was livid. I put on a face as well as I could until I started packing up. And I had this one. It's just like you wish you had a punching bag at your trailer sometimes. And, I was chilling. I was fine. I made sure everyone was okay and wanted to be respectful and nothing else. And I got back to my trailer, started packing up. And it took until the last thing I put into my trailer. I put in my bike, and my bike getting off the stand, it got stuck under my swing arm. I was like, not right now.
Yeah,
I'm trying to grab the thing. Like my whole entire team's already packed up, running over to help me.
Yeah.
I grabbed this thing out after about 20 seconds of struggling and launched the thing.
Oh man.
Can throw the thing and like pop it off in second gear, rip around, lock up the brakes, and just launch it into my trailer.
Oh gosh.
Put it in, and everyone they're all looking at me like, "You good?" I was like, "I needed that."
Yeah,
They're like,
yeah.
"All right, good."
Yeah, you kind of do need a punching bag of sorts or something to definitely, take that negative energy out of you. You know what I'm saying? Because, it's like club. Obviously, when we're club racing, it's a different level. You guys, we know things happen on a track, but the points matter. Where you finish matter as well. You got sponsors you got to deal with. You want to get high enough to hopefully have more sponsors and all this stuff. So at that level, it's like you got to keep your cool, but you also know that it's not for play.
No. So yeah, it's definitely a you gotta walk a thin line. For sure.
Yep. And so you went from there. What was the next track for you?
Loudon.
Loudon. Yeah, let's talk about Loudon and the Classic. I caught a little bit from what I saw online and stuff like that, and all that. It sounded like overall it was a really good event. It sounds like you guys, you did, obviously everybody wants to be on the podium. But let's talk about, the Classic and the weekend and stuff like that.
Classic was good. You always head up there a little early for the Penguin School because I teach for Penguin Road Racing School. So we have the Wednesday, Thursday event there. So you get up there Tuesday night, which is just coming from Wisconsin 2 days before. I leave Wisconsin Sunday night, cranked out through the night, got home on Monday morning or like mid-Monday morning. I'm already tired. I don't want to be here. I want to sleep. Right. And then I have to unpack and fix my bike now that someone took me out, refix it, throw it back in the trailer, and drive straight up there.
Right.
And so, just getting up there, it's a long weekend. So I try not killing myself riding on Wednesday and Thursday. And even Friday, I try not riding as much. But, yeah, we really good weekend. Went out, and I wanted to – I don't know. I had a feeling I just wanted to go out there and set the tone for the weekend. Like, go out there swinging, set the tone, set it strong. And I went out there on the 400 – and instantly, on a shag tire during practice, as I was running like pretty close to my track record that I ran a few years ago. I was like, "All right, this is the weekend. I wanted it. I've always said I wanted it, so now I gotta do it."
Right.
And then I went out and I forgot what race it was. Oh no, morning practice. That was it. I went out morning practice on Friday, and went out and set the track record at 15:9 on the 400. And that was a really good thing to do. Like I didn't realize it. And then right after that, I went out and ran 11:6 on the 400, the 600. Right after that, I think that weekend really what caused all my success was doing so well on the 400.
Right.
Because obviously on the 600, I'm going to do well, but it's not going to be as rewarding as a track record. So the track record got my confidence up and pushed me harder on the 600 because I was like, all right, I literally just came out from running as fast as some people do on big bikes here. On this bike, I need to use this corner speed and do it on my 600 now.
I was going to say that because, I mean, you're talking about what, 4 seconds, slower on a 600 versus the Ninja 400.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean that got to be that had to have felt pretty good and like you said gave you the confidence and stuff like that. And I assume you were probably just relaxed from all the racing you're doing as well. So you set the track record on the 400, and so how did practice go on the 600 and
it went everything went pretty smooth. Like we went out for qualifying on Saturday. I went out for first qualifying on the 400, ran like a 16:0. I was like, okay, whatever. And then on the 600, I ran 11:4, so that was a new PB for me.
Wow.
And then the second session on the 400, I was like riding down past all my friends in their garages, and a whole bunch of my friends were out there. I was like, I don't really care. I'm just going to go over here and talk to these guys for a few minutes. I'll let them go out there for a few minutes, and I'll talk to these guys.
Yeah.
I talked to my friend TJ Bebo for a few minutes. He's like, yeah, how you feeling? I was like, good. He's like, dude, 15:9 is nuts. I was like, watch this. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, 15.6 right now. He's like, no way. I was like, watch it. He's like, I'll go down and turn 12 right now. Went out there, started looking at my lap timer, 15.9, 15.8. And I was on like a 15.5 coming into turn 10.
Yeah.
And I went into 11. I think I might have lost a little bit of drive out of 12. Towed across the line. I looked down. I was like 15.6. I was like, yes, I said it. And I feel right. I called my shot. Wow. Let's go.
There you go.
So that reset the new track record again at 15.6. And it's put a pretty good gap in between me and all the other riders in the 400 class. It put about a 7/10 gap.
Okay.
Between me and Renee. So that was nice. Kind of a little cushion to have. I don't want anyone taking my records.
No,
my records.
I hear you there, and I mean, it also might shake some of the other riders' confidence when you are moving the needle. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. I could see it in people's heads. They change. I could see them. They're riding.
Yeah.
Once I started running once I clicked into a 15, people were like,
"Yep."
And you saw all the riding. They were all just like, they're either trying too hard or they're just giving up.
Yeah. It's interesting. I remember, Scott Greenwood said that a few years ago, trying to get out in front and just, stretch the gap just to kill people's confidence. I mean, but here you're doing it in qualifying or practice. And so that's even, that's like you just going out on your own, not even having the momentum of chasing somebody down,
That's the thing at Loudon. I've always done my lap times by myself.
Wow.
On the 450s, sure, I was chasing 600s, but it's not like a fair chase. It's just you pull away from me on the straightaway, and I catch you on the brakes, and it's not really like a fair chase.
Right.
But on everything else, it was by myself. My 600 times are all by myself. My 400 best time was all by myself. So, yeah, it's definitely rewarding knowing that you set your own pace. And I know people at Loudon, and I'm just not saying in a bad way, but these people who have a name or quote unquote are known as the fast people.
Right.
I've known in the back of my head, and I give them all the credit in the world. They did the times. They did the times. But in most of the classes, either if it was 450 or 400, I know I was a part of it.
Right.
Because they chased me.
Right.
Where I never had the luxury of someone to chase at Loudon.
Right.
I've always been that person that, in my whole entire career, I came into a class and I raised the bar.
Right.
Like on the motards, I came in, they were running 17s. Now this whole entire 450 class, now at Loudon, the whole motard class, you have to run a 17 to be in the top 10.
Huh. Okay.
So 400 class, I came in, the track record is a 19 too. Now we have 5 people in the 17s. And I'm not saying I'm doing all that work, but I'm raising the bar and showing people it's possible.
Right.
So now they're like, oh shit, if he can do it, I can.
Exactly.
And in the 600 class, obviously I don't have track record. I'm not raising the bar.
Not yet.
Not yet. But, even the competition level is getting higher and higher and higher, which is cool because now I have people to battle with and chase. And, shit. At the last round after the Classic, we had 3 of us running 11s in the Dash for Cash.
Wow.
It was miserable. I just did 25 laps the day before, and I have to do 12 laps of 11s. This sucks on the same tires. So
yeah, I mean, so let's talk about the Classic though. Before we talk about the last round after that, I mean, so what was qualifying like on the 600, and riding with the fast local guys, and also the other pro riders that came in. Is it I wasn't there. Paint us a picture. I mean, what was the atmosphere like on Saturday, and so it was qualifying on Friday or Saturday?
Saturday got moved to Saturday.
So what was that like? I mean, was it like everybody was just straight business? There was nobody, painting, whoever's sleeping, nobody's painting, using the marker, making up glasses on them or anything like that, or putting funny stickers on bikes?
No, none of that was there.
It was all business.
No, it was all. it's just for me, it was a regular round. Everyone comes in there. Yeah, it's business. But like, it was funny. I didn't ride with any of the guys that came from outside of Loudon. I rode with no one during the weekend.
Okay, wow.
I was always by myself. I always stay by myself at Loudon. There's no point to have a tow unless like you really need one.
Right.
So in Loudon, it's just like I figure if you don't have that solo pace, then you might not have something to chase the whole entire time. So I kind of went in there with just a go for it attitude, and qualifying. I think I qualified ninth, 10th. I'd have to look. Either it was like 9th or 11th. We were all super close.
Right.
I ran. It was funny. I ran 11.438. Alex Dumas ran 11.438, and Shane Narbonne ran 11.440.
Wow.
So we were all separated by 2,000s, and me and Dumas ran the same exact time.
That is crazy.
Yeah. So that.
Go ahead.
So it shows you right there. Actually, you know what? Let me look at this photo. My camera might go off real quick, but did my camera go off?
No, just sideways, but it's all right. Well,
All right. Well, let me look at this time just so I have an idea.
What it is.
Qualifying. Where is it? Is that it? Yes. All right. So this is the rundown of how ridiculous this is. 14th place. If you want to qualify top 14, you had to run a 11.8.
Wow.
It went Tyler Scott a 109.7. Bobby Fong a 10.7. Gillum 10.8. Teague 10.9. Stefano Mesa 10.9. Eric Wood 11.2. Joe Lamondre 11.2. Glotty 11.3. I qualified 9th with 11.4. So an 11.438 same time it was top 10. So the top 10, to make top 10, you had to be 11.4.
That's pretty wild, man. And before that, like, I mean, I don't remember what last year was like. I mean, like, what was the times? I mean, I know it was raining, but what was the rough times? On a nice dry day, even if it's not the classic,
I qualified 7th for the Loudon class last year with 11.5.
Okay.
So, and the fastest time was a 10.6. So it almost just went 9. It went 9/10 faster, almost a second faster than last year. So just to be pole, obviously the times weren't anywhere close to that after.
Right.
But it's just the times are getting faster and faster, and the bikes are just ridiculously fast.
Now,
like these next gen bikes are absolute cheater bikes.
You think so?
It's hard to keep up with them. Don't get me wrong; they're fair to an R6 that you put $50,000 into.
Okay, all right.
I don't have $50,000 to put into an R6.
I was gonna say, who's it? Michael? Is it Schultz there? Michael Schultz? Is that right?
Yeah, Matt Schultz. Yep.
Yeah, he's running the R6, and he's making it look not easy, but he's running up on people. But he probably has $50,000 in that bike.
He has a team and a factory Yamaha support.
Yeah. Okay, I got it. I see what you're saying now. And so like I saw a couple of videos, like Mesa going into turn 3, like sideways. Like,
Eric Wood.
Yeah, I saw that too. Did you learn any new lines from these riders coming in who are not never riding at Loudon all the time, or do you think them changing the lines made a difference in the times?
I learn more what not to do from people that come from Loudon than the people that are from Loudon. Don't get me wrong. The top guys are ridiculously fast. They're going to figure it out no matter what lines they take.
Right.
It's just the aggression. They're just riding it super aggressive. I don't ride the track very aggressive.
Right.
So the aggression levels are higher, which definitely correlate to speed, but it also correlates to more mistakes. But yeah, no, I didn't really learn much from them. Again, I pretty much rode by myself the whole entire weekend,
right,
until the race, and practically I was by myself the whole entire race as well. Other than let's talk about that now. So 400 race, it was half wet, half dry. They didn't declare the race wet.
Oh.
95% of the grid went out on rains. It rained for a while, and then, I looked out of my garage and I saw a dry patch coming up 4. I was like, cool, I know what I'm doing. And everyone's trying to come over and look at my tires. And I told my dad, put warmers on those tires on the rack so no one sees that my rains are on the rack. So both of my tires have warmers on them, so they know I either have it's a 50-50 shot I have slicks or rains on.
Right. So they can't tell.
Yeah. Well, 95% of the race went out on rains.
Even out
Only
slicks?
three people went out on slicks, and all 3 of them got top 3.
Oh man.
So, Adam was because he's like I've coached him for however many years now, probably 2 years now.
Yeah.
Adam went out on rains because I told him to go out on rains, and I told him trust me. He's like, on slicks. He was like, what do I go out? And I was like, go slicks. He's like, but it's like wet out there. I was like, trust me.
Yeah,
he's like,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Henry Boslin went out on slicks, and then Nate Betancourt went out on a rain front slick rear.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
But yes, so that was it, and the rest were all on rains. So I took the race very, very lackadaisical. Is that the word?
Lackadaisical?
Lackadaisical. That was it. Lackadaisical, and I just took my time. I wasn't going to risk anything. I went out there. I went out on the warm-up lap, and I was just spotting out the track, looking at the spots, and all three of those guys, Betancourt, Mascaro, and Boslin, went ripping by me. I was like, we're on the warm-up lap.
It's fine.
I'm like, I'll wait.
Okay.
I went out.
Yeah.
I got a good start. I looked over. I saw 2 of them next to me. I saw Betancourt and Mascaro. I let them both go. And I just followed them in turn 1. It was wet in turn 1, and the rest track was drying. So I was like, okay, not going to risk it yet. I follow them. I don't let them go away from me. I just follow them. I follow their pace. I give space just in case anything happens. I see Adam start pulling away from Nathan, and I was like, okay, I got to go around Nathan. Let me go quick. I passed him on the brakes. I was like, all right, cool. Let me stay behind Adam. And I stayed behind Adam till the halfway flags came out. Once the halfway flags came out, I learned enough about the track that I needed. I made the pass around Adam, and, he followed me in. So it was a Team ECB 1-2, which was pretty sick.
Yeah.
Super cool that the kid I've coached just got quote unquote, we got a professional 1-2. Right, so that was cool.
Nice.
And so that was a good race. And then the worst part about the whole entire classic was we went out there, we had our first call. It started drizzling, and we're like, oh, here we go. We're like, what are we going to do? They're like, we're going to put it on hold for 15 minutes. This continued for another 2 hours. So we were all in our suits, sitting in our garage for 2 hours. And, I garaged, in my garage, I had Bobby Fong and Dave Anthony. The wrench team was in our garage, which was awesome. They were amazing people. And got to meet all of them and hang out with them all weekend, and they were awesome people. So they're in our garage, and we were just all just cutting it up, just joking. We were just having fun, trying to chill out the mood, because every 10 minutes, and once everything started drying, you look out, you're like, oh, the track's starting to dry up. We must be going soon. Starts raining.
Oh,
we're like, welcome to Loudon. Welcome to Loudon.
Yeah.
So, after 2 hours, we finally got the okay to go. And we're like, okay, here we go. My head was starting to get a little bit out of it. And I'm already thinking there's going to be a crash.
Right.
I'm thinking there's no way we go a full 25 laps around this place in the dry.
Right.
There's no way.
And that happens because you got so much time that your brain just kind of starts to wander and all these what ifs and all these these things. So, and then you have this preconceived notion, okay, this is going to happen. And it makes you not, it makes you kind of take it easy the first few laps because you've been sitting for so long.
For sure. So I go out there, I grid up, and I'm at the point where I'm like, all right, you gotta lock the fuck in now, because like I'm looking at the lights, I'm like, oh shit, I'm about to race. This is happening. So I went out with a clear visor.
Yeah.
And in my rain helmet, so it was my rain helmet, I have a nose piece that covers my nose just so it doesn't fog.
Yep.
And I kept it in for that race, not for the fact that like it was going to fog. I just kept it in because I didn't have time. And big mistake.
Oh wow.
I was mouth breathing for 25 laps.
Oh wow.
But yeah, race went off. Got a really good start. Got up to like 5th. Hayden Gillum bodied me out of the way, and I was like, well, okay, here we go. And then I just cruised in 7th behind Eric Wood. I was like, I'll follow Eric Wood. We'll set a good pace. We ran like 11s for the first like 4 or 5 laps. And I realized the guys in front of me starting to gap me. I was like, all right, I got to go around Eric.
Right.
Could not for the life of me get around Eric for like 4 laps. And these guys were gone by the time I got up to them. Eric was losing power. He was having bike problems. I was just stuck. I had a 5-second gap behind me. Right. So I could have went away with these guys and had a good gap.
Yeah.
Took me 4 laps to get around Eric. The guys behind me were on my ass. I was like, here we go.
Yeah.
Got around Eric, set some good times, and then, I wouldn't like, I had someone pass me, and there's no one I would rather have passed me than, me and Ben Glotty. So me and Ben had a really good battle for like probably 5 laps. And he started pulling for me at the end when I was done mouth breathing.
Yeah.
It's hard not being able to breathe through your nose. I'm like trying to push my helmet up so I got on the nose.
Yeah.
But no excuse, everyone had the same, not everyone had the same problem as me, but, it's definitely hard to focus with that going on. But, Ben passed me. He was running a really good race. So he passed me, beat me. I got 8th. He got 7th. But, no red flags.
Wow.
Absolutely. One crash during the whole entire race at the end of the race in turn 3, but they slid right into the middle of the 310 split, so there's no problem.
Gotcha.
And
played up in aisle 3.
Yeah, pretty much. That's all it was, and I was so mad. Like not mad in a good way, but I was like hoping for like something like
right, just to get a restart.
Just give me a break. Yeah. Just I need a breather for half a second. But nope, 32 minutes straight at Loudon is not a fun experience, but I know what to expect now for next year. Gotcha. If we do have the event again. I'm not sure if we have the event again.
Right.
But if we do, I do know what to expect, which is cool.
Right.
And
I was gonna say, what was that like? What was it like for you? Afterwards, physically, was it when you say it wasn't fun? Just, outside of not having the nose piece removed so you can breathe properly, intensive as far as braking.
Yeah, it's just like there's no brakes at Loudon. There's no like physical brakes at Loudon. Like you're constantly doing something on the bike. Going down the front straightaway, you have 4 seconds, and that's it.
Yeah.
The rest of it's just, all right, bike stepping out here. Oh, bike stepping out here. Oh, high side. Okay, I got it. I caught it. Oh, my God, I'm a tank slapper. The whole entire race. and
that's before you get to the bowl?
Yeah. That's coming out of turn 2. Yeah, it's just a lot of work. And, don't get me wrong, I'm not a big person. I just got to definitely work on some strength for next year. Now that I won't be on a small bike after next year, which I'm so happy about.
I was going to ask about that. Nice.
Yeah, I'm done with the small bikes. I need to kind of be done. Yeah. Not the obviously I can't anymore after next year anyway, but still it's like I need to focus on the big bikes finally.
Right. Yeah. I kind of, and where it's, obviously you're not a big guy. But when the kids that are, I don't know, 85 pounds on a bike, it makes it makes it a little difficult at some tracks. So I feel you. At least you get a little bit more power. And I assume you just want to move up as well too.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm not sure what's going on for next year, and I'm not going to waste my energy hoping and praying what's going to happen.
Right.
So if stuff comes, and that's how I'm gonna look at it. But overall, Really good weekend. Walked away with a little bit of money to go pay off my parents, and
in one end,
yeah,
out the other.
pretty much, and then just move forward on to the next weekend.
Got you.
All it was.
And that was back in MotoAmerica, and that was that a rain weekend as well? That the next round it was dry.
It was misting during the races. It was misting for both of our races, which sucked.
Right.
But what are you doing? Misting for both of our races. That track, I could not figure that track out for the life of me. Could not figure it out. I struggled all weekend, setup wise, track wise. Everything was going on in Brainerd, and it took until warm up. Yeah, warm up on Sunday to finally figure it out and get good times. I went from being like 7th through 10th all weekend to finally figuring out and getting third and warm up on Sunday. We've changed the whole entire setup, and I felt great. So good. Going into the race, so much confidence. Because I knew I've been having really good starts. Like the last 3 races, I had really good starts. I was like, I need to go out here, get a launch of my lifetime, and lead into turn 3. Just so if I am a little bit off pace, they have to work to get around me.
Right.
So then I can catch a draft after. So, got a really good start, like I wanted to. Started making my way up to the pack, drafting. Followed Ella Dreyer through turn 2, going in 3, following her. Yandel was on the outside of me. And I guess, I know Jaden was on the inside of me, but I thought we already passed him because he's on the inside. He has no draft, nothing. So we draft around him. I guess he got a side draft. And at that point, I think his bar caught my leg and ripped my leg off the peg as I was fully leaned on the inside.
Oh, wow.
So my leg went. I started sliding all the way off the bike. In the video, my whole entire body is off the side of my bike, like falling. As in my leg is the only thing holding up. Like my foot is caught on the seat, and then my rear end stepped out. At that point, I crashed, which my bike hit another kid, and then another kid hit my bike, and we all kind of just went flying into the grass and destroyed my bike, destroyed a lot of things, and ended up breaking some stuff, which is
never fun.
Never fun, especially when it comes to your back and your back in your butt.
Right, exactly.
Because you can't really sit down well.
Right.
But it just sucks that out of the 2 MotoAmerica rounds, I got taken out 2 times.
That has to be difficult on the psyche, and especially the second time when you break stuff, and it's not your fault essentially, and then you have to deal with recovery and stuff like that. So fortunate you had some time off before your next race. So how are you healing up? How are you feeling? What's the mood like?
Doing good. Feeling great. I mean, as best as I could. I mean, I get very, very lucky, knock on wood, with my injuries. Recovery times are pretty quick for me. I heal pretty fast. And, I've been able to, still swing a golf club. So that's all that matters.
There you go. That's what's up.
But, I'm feeling good. I should be back on the bike soon. I might go race the next round of Loudon. I'm just on the 600 though. I don't feel like racing the 400 right now. It's also a cube right now. So
it's a cube, and it seems like it's the bike you've been falling on more than the 600. So I can see you favoring the 600 a little bit more at this point. And even though Loudon is a small track, it is fun to go around on the 600.
It's so much more fun. I enjoy it way more than riding a 400 there.
Yeah.
So yeah, moving from there, I might go to Mid Ohio before MotoAmerica to go ride it. Not sure. I'm trying to get down to Jersey to go do some testing.
Okay.
So I'm going to go do testing on my 400, and then I might do testing on another bike. I'm not sure.
Got you. All right. A little bit of things to
there
come.
There might be some news coming out soon.
No doubt. I can't wait to hear, man. And Jersey to race or just to do a track day?
Probably just track day.
Nice. I'm hoping to get the Jersey probably Labor Day weekend and race. It's being down in Florida, man. I'm telling you, I driving more than 16 hours seem difficult to wrap my head around now. I'm like, I can fly to Boston and drive to Jersey, and then I'll save time rather than driving straight up, kind of thing. So, but I do like that track a lot. It is a fun track to go around on.
I love it. Love that track.
Sweet, man.
Just a fun track.
Nice. Well, I don't want to keep you too much, and you still got some food to go. So I appreciate you coming on, man. Let's tell folks about your sponsors and shout them out and stuff like that.
First of all, again, thank you again for having me on here and supporting my program. It's definitely always a big help. Definitely coming on here. I love coming back on here after the weekends. Or after a few weekends,
listen,
and
you
recapping and having a nice little recap. So
yeah, appreciate that.
Cool. But gotta thank my parents for sure, my grandparents, Barton Racing, Barton Construction, Dunlop Tires, K-Tech Suspension, Alpha Omega, Anthem Racing, Anthem Leather Suits as well. Penguin Road Racing School. I forgot about them last time. B4evaKool podcast. Daniel Karen Media. I know there's a lot I'm missing, but
send us the list, man. We'll pop it up.
Blood lubricants. I forgot about Blood, but Blood KYT helmets.
Nice.
It's working up there one day. It's working. Oh, Jovel Machine Company. Okay. Jovel Machining Company is a big help. And for now, that's about it.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on, Eli Block. I appreciate it. My name is Rex45, the one and only Eli Block. Now he can go finish his dinner. Peace.